Everybody stir crazy. Welcome to episode number 20 of Dead Air. Dead Air is 2 words, by the way. Redban corrected me on that. I had been writing it in 1 word, but it's 2. Darren Carter, how are you doing
Darren
today?
Carter, party starter.
Healthy,
Thank you.
We took his temperature. He's not showing any signs of coronavirus. He's here. He's willing to come out of his house and take a chance for our listeners and to get out in public. Redban, thank you for being
Holtzman.
here.
Thank you, Redban.
How was the moon? I seen you, you and your friend. Just got back from the moon.
Just got back from the moon. That's right. Shaved my head. Also, I couldn't get a haircut. I was like, fuck it. My hair grows so fast. I'll just
can I
shave
see
my
your hair real quick?
Shave my head. Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
for
that
you.
looks good.
For you. I should come over to your house and have
I know
that done.
Yeah, you were clean shaven. I noticed that. Have you been shaving every day?
No, I just once a week. When I get out of the house or whatever, I'll shave.
Jeez. And how are you? So everything's okay
I'm
with
good,
you?
man.
Your family?
Family's
Your kid?
good. All's good. All is well in the Carter household. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, and I didn't want to. I think I owe an apology to anybody who was offended by my talk of adoption. It was just that I was just.
Yeah.
I had no idea that you were.
Yeah, I'm adopted, and
that you were a victim.
Dude, I wouldn't say it's a victim. I would.
No,
say,
Vic.
Yeah.
That's just I don't want to have to apologize again. Okay, I don't want to. I just.
No, but I
didn't mean anything by it, but I was taken aback.
I used to see that though. Like I would see, like we were going to adopt a pet and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, man, what the fudge? Like, how come I can't get adopted? Because I was 9 years old before I actually got adopted. So.
And then when you were in school, what do they call it? Grade school. Were you the last one to get picked for a sports team or something?
I was usually in the middle, unless they knew that I was adopted. Then
it just bleeds out of your pores. You don't even have to know. You can just tell people that are adopted. They're just different. They're just different. They shop at the supermarket late at night when nobody else is around.
I do that.
You go to CVS and you see these creature features come out in the middle of the night. And they look at people like they're they don't know anything about people. So this coronavirus to a lot of these shut-ins is like heaven on earth. They don't have to see anybody. They can go around like a little snake in the community. So I don't know what it is. Day 12 quarantine. I can't even keep up with it. It's not good to count it.
Yeah, 2 weeks or something. I don't know. It's
a good opportunity if you realize you don't want to go to jail. This is what it would be like if you were incarcerated.
Yeah, and this is like easy time compared to jail. Yeah. I mean, you're able to watch all your Netflix shows.
People are taking it better than other people. Some people they can't live moment to moment and. Just, I told some people today, I said, it's like just pretend you're on the Starship Enterprise. It's a Star Trek episode. That's what it is. This is part of being an Earthling. I mean, this is Earth. This is your time on Earth. So we'll talk about this a lot. We got items of interest to get to, and I don't know if I'm going to even talk about coronavirus. It's been so talked out. Every day there's new talking about it. It's so I don't know. We'll think about it.
You're thinking people might need an escape from it for a little bit.
And I brought another letter today, a letter that we'll read later, an interesting letter.
I love the letters.
Yeah, that was so cool last time.
Thank you. I have a stack. Oh, you weren't the one getting in trouble. But
that's good that you had the wherewithal to save those letters. You weren't like, you know what, this is bull. I'm going to throw it away and shred it. You're like, no, it's part of my past. I'm going to save these letters and there'll be a story there one day.
I have a whole bunch of letters. Someday I think I'll put them in a book.
Someday, what else you got to do? Do it now. Right. This month.
Today in 1985, just a couple of tidbits for today. March 31st, episode 20. We're still doing it. Redban's still putting up with us in our dead air. Today is 1985. Today was the first WrestleMania in Madison Square Garden. 1985. I was just getting out of the Air Force. Do you know where you were in 1985?
1985, I was in high school, and I was learning to break dance, and I was discovering hip-hop and Michael Jackson music and all that good stuff.
How many graduating students were there in your high school year?
If I were to guess, I don't know how many exactly, but I know that I think there was 2,000 kids at my school, so whatever that would be.
Yeah.
600 or something.
I got a reunion coming up in October on Long Island. I don't know if it's going to push through.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably not, huh?
Yeah. Do you keep in contact with these people through like Facebook and stuff?
I do.
Yeah,
the Olympics is scheduled for 2021. Summer Olympics, they pushed that back. It's just the whole world. It's an interesting time to be alive. Look at it like that. 1889, the Paris, what do they call that tower there?
Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower. Yeah, I'm starting off real good. The Eiffel Tower opened up in 1889 for the first time. I guess they finished riveting all that metal. And,
that must have been amazing, right? The 1800s, you're seeing some tower that's way up in the sky like that. Like, that's amazing.
I'd rather live now with the coronavirus than in 1819.
Yeah.
You know? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Do you really want to go back into the crazy times? Do you think it's crazy now? My God. And in 1918, daylight savings time was started. So if we could only dig those people up and kick their ass for that silly garbage.
They're going to end that soon, don't you think? It feels like they should.
No, they haven't ended. They haven't introduced the metric system. They haven't overhauled the tax system. They haven't overhauled the electoral college, which is garbage. You know, California has how many people, and they get 2 senators, and then Idaho or
Delaware or something.
No, you know those the western states have less people, and they get 2 senators. I mean, it's crazy. You know, it's just a lot of things need to be changed. But I don't know, Redban, if they'll change it. I think everybody wants to change it. Who wants a shorter day? Who wants a shorter day? What? Unless you're a vampire. You know?
Yeah. But let me ask you a question. Don't you think it's a little bit neat, like when they do change the clocks, you're like, wow, the sun's out so much later. No. Don't you get a little thrill from that? No, you don't.
No, what we're saying is, I think what we're saying.
You don't get a thrill from that?
I think what we're saying, Redban, is we want that all year round.
All year round.
Yeah. So
and it was made for the farmers, wasn't it?
Yes.
No one gives a shit about that anymore.
Something to do with the harvest, yeah.
Wake up an hour early, farmer.
It's too dark out there. I can't see my corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your family went up to Bakersfield to see the in-laws, huh? Or the outlaws?
Yeah. They're up there Actually, speaking of farmers, they're up there at the farm up near Bakersfield, and yeah, my son's out there. You know, it's great. It's you know, luckily I'm from California, so I don't have to go to like New York or something. You know, like you do. But
I lost. My brother-in-law's nephew passed away from the coronavirus since we've been here last.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So it's a real. If people don't think it's real, it's real. It's a super bug, and now people are thinking about it's some kind of conspiracies going around, or some kind of man-made pathogen, because it's very strong. It gets in your lungs, and it just wants to. Your body fights it off to a certain extent that it fills your lungs with fluid. And it gives you the feeling that you're drowning. That's why they need the respirator.
Do they have any idea how they think he might have got it? Or,
well, he's in the epicenter of the epicenter back east. He lived in Flushing, Queens. So that's like they got a lot of problems over there. And so it could have been any number of places that he got it. His father found him, finally tracked him down to an upstairs bedroom, I was told, and they found him unresponsive. Called the paramedics, and then he went to the hospital. So our prayers go out to Joseph and anybody else who lost a loved one during the coronavirus. And so everybody's just you just got to run the course, you know, just run the course. This is it. This is battle stations, you know, for your mind and your, you know. Redban didn't let him and Rogan were up there on the moon. They didn't care.
Yeah.
That's too funny. So, do you want to say anything before I start the items of interest?
No,
Darren?
I thank you guys for having me on. And
Thanks for coming back. We tried to book the show, and a lot of the people are reluctant to come on the show because of the climate that we're doing right now. I had some more problems in the drive-through today.
Uh-oh. You did?
At Burger King. You know, why do you need to look at the menu board? You don't know what you want. You don't know what you want, a Whopper. It's like the people who go to breakfast. Do you ever go to breakfast with anybody and they want to look at a menu? Don't you know what you want for breakfast?
Right.
I mean, just tell them what you want. I'm sure isn't that be easy than looking at a menu How many times have you had breakfast in your life and you need to look at a menu?
That's smart, man.
Just tell them what you want. It's like people that go to the bar and they want to know what kind of beers do you have. Just tell me what kind of beer you want, and then we'll go from there.
Hey, I was guilty of that. Remember we went out to that diner and I go, what type of dressing do you have? And you were like, just what? think about your normal American dressings
that you would normally find in the
Yeah.
country of this economical.
And you're right. So I should have just said, "Do you have Thousand Island?" And if they said no, I said,
Of course they would have it too.
Exactly. Yeah. Occasionally they don't, but it's like, then you just
Thousand Islands.
You switch it over.
And
you
if
know?
you could have asked them for a rifle, they would have had rifles. Guns in Thousand Islands in this country, that's what you're going to get. No problem. You need a
sounds
gun,
good.
you'll get a gun.
What kind of dressing are you, Brian? What's your go-to dressing?
I like honey mustard.
Oh, yeah.
Honey mustard's
Ooh,
good. Oh, blue
fancy.
cheese.
Yeah.
You're not into ranch.
When I was working for the airline, sitting in first class, as an employee, they used to ask me the same question. I say, one of each. A little of everything.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, I've taken it all.
And that's how you discovered honey mustard.
Well, I knew.
Did you grow up with honey mustard? I never discovered it until I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
I never. How about you, Brian?
Well, you're adopted. What do you mean? There's a lot of things you don't know about. You come from a broken family. No, I don't mean that derogatorily.
No, it's
but,
true,
you're a broken person. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So thanks for who's ever listening out there. We're trying to get guests, but it's hard to get guests. So Darren Carter was good enough to come and see us
Thank you,
again.
sir. Thank you.
And everything's fine. So let's just plug away with the items of interest. And if it gets too much or they're too long, it's okay. Just say we've had enough item of interest because the show's been going a little bit too long. Nobody has 2 hours to listen to this, So but what are you going to do? I don't want to drive all the way to Burbank for a half hour, or an hour. I don't know.
A 5-minute podcast.
Yeah.
Were you into WrestleMania? You said that today.
Oh
was,
yeah, my brother Bruce and I used to watch it when the guy who owns it, McMahon. Remember McMahon used to get in there. The most fun is when you see a guy in. My favorite is when they beat up the referee, and then McMahon used to come in there, and then who was the guy that used to interview them?
Mean Gene or something?
Mean Gene would be shaking it like this with the microphone, and then because he didn't know he could get assaulted at any time. They need to do more of that, assaulting the guys who do the play-by-play, and.
I was a big Andre the Giant guy.
Oh, yeah. And then they had the guy that dressed up in leather, and he was the fag. Remember that guy, the fag?
Oh, yeah.
The big fat fag guy in all leather. And he'd go around and like this. No one wanted to wrestle the fag.
That was a great era. All this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Mr. T and Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, man.
Rodney
And
Dangerfield.
Rowdy Piper. Yeah. Yeah, they were great. Cindy Lauper.
I forgot she was involved with that.
Muhammad Ali and the guy that plays the piano.
It's weird being home on a Friday and Saturday night, isn't it? It's just like not normal. I'm usually trucking up to the old comedy store.
Dude, I had a dream. I was at the comedy store, and in my dream, it got kind of weird where I was like, I didn't want people too close to me. I don't know if you've had that dream yet, but I was like, we need to step away.
Oh, yeah, there's the guy on the right. What was his name? I remember.
There's
Muhammad
the
Ali.
Sheik.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, there's the Butterball.
Butterball, yeah. Yeah. And what was that guy that had the rubber bands in his beard? And
Captain Lou Albano.
Yeah, he just passed away not too long ago. Oh, Lou. No, I like it. I think it's fun because it's fun. I like to watch it with somebody who doesn't know what's going on and say, oh my God, he's really going to get hurt. I don't know if he's going to survive that. Oh my God, oh, that's only fake. We know it's fake, but it's still fun. It's still fun.
I love it. I forget that guy's name. But remember, he flipped out. He goes, "You think it's fake? You think it's fake?" And then he beat the newspaper.
Remember
guy
the
up.
magazines that used to have with all the blood, with the chair, with the front was all the.
My mom would get mad at me for reading this.
Really?
Yeah, because there was blood and stuff in it.
It's graphic.
WrestleMania.
Look at this.
Oh, there's the Sheik. The Sheik.
Wow.
Is that where Mr. T got his start before Hollywood?
I think what made him popular for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Muhammad Ali was the referee.
Wow.
That looks huge.
WrestleMania.
Dead meat. The first time I heard of Mr. T was Rocky III. I never knew of him before that. Did you guys know of him?
A-Team, was that before or after?
I think that was after.
AT was after, I think.
I remember seeing Rocky 3. That was the first time I'd ever seen.
Somebody
Hulk
told me
Hogan
about the movies you were in. What was the 2 movies you were in?
I've been in about 7 of them.
The cool one. The cool.
Be Cool. Be Cool with
Be
John
Cool.
Travolta. Yeah.
And Get Shorty 2 or 1?
Be Cool is the sequel to Get Shorty.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in that with John Travolta and a bunch of urban movies.
Did you talk to John Travolta at all?
He's very nice. Very cool. Yeah. He didn't mind that I was adopted.
They try to kiss you?
No.
They ask you for a massage.
No.
Kavanaugh Bell is a very busy 7-year-old. The Maryland first grader runs an anti-bullying nonprofit and has helped to ship clean water to Flint, Michigan. 7 years old. How could he be doing this? He must have rich parents.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you do this shit? You know, come on. Yeah. This kid's going to grow up to be one of those stockbroker thieves on Wall Street that's going to go to prison for doing a Ponzi scheme. 7 years old. Somebody smack his face and tell him to go in the house and play with the sling. God, 7 years old. Shipped clean water to Flint, Michigan, and when he heard about the coronavirus, he knew he had to act. He doesn't even know how to wipe his ass. He knows how to act when the controversy. 7 years old. Shut up. Shut up. God, that's children scam me. Using his $600 in savings. So where did he get? It must be rich parents.
Yeah.
Spoiling the shit out of him. Can you say shit? I'm sorry. $600 savings. So he went shopping with his mom and bought cartloads of hand sanitizer, cleaning supplies, and snacks. He divided the goods into 65 care packages and handed them out at his grandmom's senior living community while wearing gloves and a mask. I like giving back, he explained. That's my passion. How about wiping your ass first?
Yeah, first grading his savings was $600.
My passion.
I got $10 to mow the lawn, and it took me 2 hours as a first grader.
Yeah, if you had enough money to go get a hero or something.
Yeah.
I don't think I got an allowance till I was a little older.
This guy's another good heart story. We like to start with the good heart stories first. Johnny Blue was beginning to lose his faith in humanity. The 33-year-old physical therapist and avid surfer had seen reports of people across the country hoarding toilet paper amid the coronavirus pandemic. He was horrified that a close friend couldn't find diapers and essential supplies for his kids at local stores. So one Saturday morning, Blue camped out at a busy intersection in California with a sign reading, "Share your toilet paper," and created an impromptu toilet paper exchange. Drivers with extra supplies tossed rolls to Blue, who then handed them off to those in need. Get out of the road. Get out of the road. Get off the medium, all right? We're driving here. Oh, my God. Handed them off to those in need. People are honking, smiling, laughing, said Blue. I just want to encourage everyone to be better. Yeah, be better. Get out of the road. How's that?
Don't hoard in the first place.
This is the last good story,
You just
I
want
think.
attention.
Everybody wants
like
attention.
He's just like, get a good shot
there
of me.
he is.
Look how he wrote it. Share your, and then he put toilet with the toilet paper right there.
With the hat on backwards.
Get out of here.
Jeez.
He's a catcher.
Don't you get the 7-year-old to help you? When Brian and Michael Morton took over their dad's New Jersey pizzeria in 2017, he gave his sons an important piece of advice. Look after your employees. That's what the brothers did when all restaurants in the state were ordered to stop taking dine-in customers. To slow the spread of the coronavirus, rather than lay off the 20 workers at Ferdingo's Pizza and Restaurant, the pair took out a $50,000 line of credit so that they could keep writing paychecks for the next 2 months no matter what. The hard-working staff, Brian explained, is what makes the business. I definitely owe them a debt, even if it means I might go into debt. Well, thank you, Mr. Brian. You miss your family?
I do.
You love your family?
Love my family.
I mean, really love your family.
I love them.
I think we talked about some
I
people.
love those,
Some love
yeah.
is superficial. You really love them?
I love them.
Would you give your life up for your family?
I love my family.
There you go. Yeah, I got my answer. Yeah, you just keep talking. You just keep asking the question long enough, you'll get the answer you're looking for. That's for sure. Okay. The Hobby Lobby chain of craft stores is staying open during the pandemic. after the CEO's wife received a message from God. In a letter to employees, CEO David Green explained that while the coronavirus pandemic is certainly concerning, God informed his wife, Barbara, last week that he will specifically protect Hobby Lobby and its employees.
Oh, boy.
And groom us to be better than we could have ever thought possible. Hobby Lobby.
So they're going against the law and opening their stores so people could buy crap that they don't need?
Hobby Lobby and Chick-fil-A should get together and they can have a circle jerk. Yeah. Hobby Lobby. All right.
You know what, though? I got to say, I did some arts and crafts last night and the night before, and it is a little bit relaxing.
Wait a minute.
Wait, your family's out of town.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
doing arts and crafts?
What are you talking about, arts and crafts?
Talking about hookers and blow? Like, what the...
Arts and crafts? What are you talking about?
Okay, here's what I did. So you know my podcast, Pocket Party?
Making paper mache assholes or something? What are you doing
No,
over there?
man, that's gross. No, I thought, if I'm going to have a camera on me, I better have like this sign behind me.
Right.
So I took like some stencil letters or whatever, and I spelled out Pocket Party Podcast, and then I took some Sharpies and I did the outline.
Like I did?
Yeah, exactly. And then I sent it around, got some advice, and people were like, you should fill in the letters. So then I filled in all the letters, and I got to tell you, it was relaxing. And then after all that, I put it on camera, and then the words were backwards. I'm like, what the fudge? Because the camera sees things backwards. So.
And I checked my account. I got Venmo now, so I checked.
Oh, good.
Can I have my $1 back or whatever?
I gave it to you, right? Oh, let me give you.
You owe me $1. That was just a
I
test
see. That's
run.
how I got all this craft supplies.
I need toothpicks and rubber bands, and I need glue. I need a lot of glue.
Need to close those windows.
That is crazy, though. Like, if I was married and had a kid and my family went out of town, dude, I'm going to be partying my ass off. Yeah, at least masturbating naked and, like, spinning in circles or something.
I never jacked off in this chair. Oh, that was great.
See, man, you guys are different than I am, man. Like, I know. I actually look at it like, okay, now I can turn the home into a studio. I can set up lights and green. You're right. See, I turned my home into your studio right now, but I got to tear it all down.
Speaking of perverted arts and crafts, a Portland, Oregon strip club forced to close its doors during the pandemic has reinvented itself as Boober Eats. Boober Eats, whose scantily clad dancers deliver takeout food to lonely customers.
That's cool.
Chandra Bolden, owner of the Lucky Devil Lounge, says customers are giddy when one of the 25 strippers come to their door. Sometimes, Bolden says, it's people that are really stoned.
Oh.
Well, you don't have to.
Hey, man, I'm doing arts and crafts. I built a stripper pole. Come on in. Yeah.
After New York Governor Andrew Cuomo exempted liquor stores from his order closing all non-essential businesses. We are probably 3 times as busy as we usually are, said Sonny Tsai of Liquor World in Syracuse. People are stocking up. Damn right they're stocking up. You're going to be drunk to be living with those people. Usually you get out of the house, but now you're stuck in the house with the people that you can't get away from.
You know what? This gives us hope because I talked to a friend. He was like, I don't know when the ban is lifted. Are people going to be afraid to go out? And I said, you know what's driving people? That sex drive. Remember last week he said like the strip clubs, people still want to go to the strip clubs. They still want to order boober. I think the sex drive is going to like get people out there as opposed to being too afraid.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Pope Francis advised the planet's 1.2 billion Catholics that if they can't confess in person to a priest during the pandemic, they should speak directly to God and Hobby Lobby. The Pope recommended assuring God that I will go to confession afterwards, but forgive me now. And this is Tom Hanks. Everybody's worrying about Tom Hanks. I tell you, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate mail for this, but I'm not a real big fan of Tom Hanks. If I was good friends with Spielberg, I could be in every freaking movie that was ever made, too. You know what I mean? I'm more or less like regular people. I don't care about Tom. I'm not saying anything derogatorily, but I could give a hoot about Tom Hanks. And his wife. I wish them well. I don't wish them any evil, but, they have to put that on the news. Right after that, it's the cat up in the tree or the horse in the hole. It's you know what I mean? I mean, he looks like a muffler salesman. You know, he doesn't look like a movie star to me. He looks like some guy that would tell you need a new muffler. And you need to rotate these tires. You know, he doesn't look like a movie star. Jeez, Saving Private Ryan. Save my...
Philadelphia.
Yeah, that was kind of, you know, I had a friend who went to the double feature of Schindler's List in Philadelphia. And after that, they give you a handgun so you can blow your fucking head off after it. Oh, my God. I didn't see Schindler's List. I knew what it was about. Well, I'm not going to go to a movie and see that. That's the terrible story, real life,
I want
true story.
to pay to get depressed.
There's enough depressing things going on.
Do you eat popcorn during the movie? Like, I wouldn't even...
That's none of your business.
You know? I wouldn't...
Yeah, if you have $20, you can eat popcorn.
Yeah, that one kid could. He's got all that money.
That business model, we talked about that's going. Here's one about a dog for you dog lovers. This dash hound, the dog, the Frankfurter dogs.
The
Wiener dogs, 7, Raulo, his name is, Rolo, 7, a dash hound from the United Kingdom who was diagnosed with a sprained tail from excessively wagging it out of joy that his owners were self-isolating at home instead of leaving for work. Rolo is currently on pain relief.
Oh, my gosh.
And the vet said he should be healed within a week. I wonder how much that cost. Be careful when you want to get a dog. The veterinarian probably gave them a bill for at least $800, if not $1,200.
Yeah.
Sprained tail.
You think that's a real story, or you think somebody was fooling around with that tail?
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know.
I haven't fact-checked these. Should I fact-check these before I read them?
It could be a real story, or maybe there was some manipulation going on.
Well, now we just lost about 80% of the listeners now.
I know. It was a sweet story. Okay, I'm sorry. It was
No, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know how to answer it. I would hope it's not made up.
Yeah. No, but you know what I mean?
This is a reputable source of items of interest.
No, man, I'm saying maybe somebody was fooling around with that tail, and then, you know.
That's what he thinks when the family's out of town, he fucks with the dogs.
Oh, you're saying that...
Yeah, exactly.
You're saying that not the story's not valid.
No, I believe the
story. The reason for the sprained tail is not valid.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Maybe he got caught in the door.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yep.
Oh, I can't believe it. Look at this. Oh, look at him. He always wants to show their genitalia. Dogs have no problem just spreading their legs and showing them their whole shit, you know. This is me. This is my balls. This is where I piss at it.
That's why people get dogs. Imagine something so happy to see you.
Oh, they grow on you. They grow on you.
That it's wagging its tail so much that it gets a sprained tail that it's so happy to see you. I mean...
He must have just wagged the shit out of that tail.
That's what I'm telling you. It's like, you know...
Maybe the owners give him blowjobs. I don't know. What would make a dog wag its tail like so hard like that? Look at these. They're I don't know what it is about dogs, but they do love people. God, they love people.
Look at that.
When you're walking a dog, the dog would rather stay with you, even if there's other dogs around. They don't want anything to do with other dogs. They just love human beings. They just love human beings. One of the best bumper stickers I ever saw is try to be the person your dog thinks you are.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
You know, you could go home, you could murder everybody at school and come home and your dog would be just going, honey, I love you, I love you.
Let me lick the evidence off.
Careful, boy, you're going to sprain that tail.
They're having trouble with the sewer lines in New York. Everybody's flushing those handy wipes down there. You know, those you know, act like you're in a restaurant. Didn't you see what they say in the restaurant? You don't throw anything down there. Just toilet paper. That's it. That's it. You get these people that are just out to lunch and they're just not coming back. What do you want? Why don't you throw your scraps from the table down the toilet? You know what? It's not a garbage disposal. It's a toilet.
When I first moved to LA, I had a roommate that would put Q-tips in the toilet. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Q-tips?
Yeah, and he'd wonder why the plumbing, we'd have to call the plumber all the time.
How long did he do that?
I don't know. But I remember seeing him floating in. He goes, I always do that. I grew up in Virginia. And I'm like,
I got caught pissing in the sink in the Air Force, in the room.
Why'd you do that?
The Japanese guy, because I had to piss, and I want to walk in the bathroom's down the hall. There's just a little sink in the room. It's just urine, and you just put the water on. It's not like I took a shit in the sink. Why, you'd get upset if you were the roommate too?
Yeah, I wouldn't want that. Come on, you're trying to brush your teeth.
One time I was in the Air Force, and I must have passed out or something. I had the little sink in the room, and I had it on full blast, and the guy underneath in the room underneath, he was all flooding.
Oh,
They couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
You're a bad boy, bro.
And they finally got into my room, and they shut the water off.
Oh, man. You got a letter for that?
So that's good. We're moving right along right here. This is a guy that a guilt-racked burglar in New Mexico was busted after unknowingly stealing 2 televisions while drunk and then returning them to his victim. Stage Aaron Cummings, 24, told police he was very intoxicated when he knocked on the victim's door and, receiving no answer, walked inside. The next morning, he awoke with no memory of the incident, but noticed he had 2 TVs in his room that hadn't previously been there. Days later, a mutual friend of Cummings and the victim informed the former whom he'd stolen from. But when the unwitting burglar brought back the TVs, a cop on the scene arrested him. Damn, somebody called the cops. Yeah, there it is. I guess we got to pull up every story because you're going to think that the story's not valid.
No, I knew the story was real. I just didn't. I wondered if the husband was making up the story about the spraying tail.
So this guy stole TVs in a blackout, I guess. So watch it. Maybe he should just have a glass of milk before he goes out.
Yeah.
Drink some milk before you go out and get shit-faced.
It sounds like something you would do, though, in the Air Force, Brian.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Well, I can have 2 TVs, one for each eyeball.
I got a lot of Air Force stories that are just too comical to even. This guy's in.
Can I ask you a question about the Air Force real quick?
And go ahead.
Did you have to do some sort of physical training? And if so, do you remember like how many push-ups you had to do or something like that?
We'll talk about it another time.
Okay.
It was a glorified gym class there. Basic training in the Air Force. That's all it is. That's the best way I can explain it. It's a glorified gym class. Okay. There was a guy in the Air Force that I think he was in a walker and he passed the basic training. A neoclassic forklift driver from Canada has remade his life by tattooing himself almost entirely in Smurf-like blue. Donnie Snyder, 26, said his decision was rooted in a desire to quit hiding and break myself out of stagnation. Since then, he slowly transformed almost every inch of his body, including his face. Reactions have been mixed, including gasps, free beers, flirting, fist bumps, and hugs.
Sounds like it was all pre-coronavirus.
It's like living life in a strange mode, he says. It's definitely striking, and I think it's a beautiful color.
And now he's home. No one's noticing him. No one's fist bumping him.
It's a lot of ink. That must have cost him a lot of money. Tattoos aren't cheap.
Did you ever go for the tattoo?
No, I don't.
Me either.
I'm still deciding what I want it to be represented. I don't know if I want like a plaid sleeve or a solid color. You know.
You know what? I think about my favorite shirts that I used to love, and I would hate to have to be stuck with that shirt for like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like things that I was into like 20 years ago.
Do you have any shirts with collars?
Yes.
Yeah, just curious.
Yeah, mostly when the sun's out, that way I can protect my neck.
Whenever you see somebody in a T-shirt say, "Did your daddy lose his job down at the mill?"
Hey, you're like, dude, you remind me of Elvis. You know, that's the reason Elvis didn't like to wear blue jeans, because he said that was when he was poor.
I wish I was alive when Elvis. I would have ripped him away from that stupid manager he had.
Colonel Parker.
Oh, my God. Of all the people in the United States, nobody could separate him from that evil, that controlling, stagnating. God, he was Elvis Presley.
I know.
And he just took him to Vegas to rot.
He wouldn't let him leave the country, and he made him
God,
pay
wouldn't even
50%.
give him a passport, I was told. Just took him to Vegas to rot. Elvis Presley. So sad. Okay. So
Get a tattoo of Elvis.
Elvis has left the building. Now, somebody
TC
told me they had to say that because people would not leave until they knew he was off the premises. So they had to make an announcement. Elvis has left the building. Get the fuck home. Go home. He's not here anymore. And then he'd just get his big fat ass Elvis out through the back door, and they'd help him into the car and hold his fat legs and get his fat body in there and just...
They'd go straight to the airport on the Alicia Marie.
We don't know where he went. You know, he had his own airplane.
Alicia
It's
Marie.
all full of... It hasn't been restored. It's like it was when he got it. It's like all dilapidated. Nobody... It's really like retro. Somebody could straighten that out.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty badass. Look at this.
Yeah, it's got velvet in it and everything.
It looks like it's.
Oh yeah, see, it's called the Lisa Marie.
I don't know. If I was well healed, I'd have that freaking thing restored. That's a cocktail conversation. I have Elvis's airplane. Think of all the chicks you could get telling me, did you have you own Elvis? I don't know why the other guy with the 707, your buddy from the movie,
John Travolta.
He's got a big 707, but he I don't know why he didn't buy Elvis's airplane.
That's cool. Wow.
Look at that. You could fix that up as long as it's airworthy. You know, it would be expensive. You'd have to upgrade all the electronics and put in all new touch screens. You'd have to put all new engines and
I've been there twice.
But you can do it. They refurbish old World War I and II, World War II planes. But I was surprised to see that nobody took that, at least in a museum in pristine. I don't know why. It should be in Graceland is where it should be. Somebody dropped the ball. Oh, that's another plane he has. So the bigger one, huh?
Yeah, I think I had a few of them.
Jeez, Elvis Presley. He's left the building. What is this one about? Contrary, this is one about coronavirus, so we'll just get through it. Contrary to the belief that coronavirus seriously affects only the old, the Center for Disease Control study for the first 2,500 confirmed coronavirus cases in the U.S. found that 38% of those hospitalized, 508 patients, were between the ages of 20 and 54. And 20% were between the ages of 20 and 44. Chinese researchers have studied a group of 204 coronavirus patients hospitalized in Hubei province, found nearly half suffered digestive symptoms, including loss of appetite, diarrhea, vomiting, and stomach pain. Same symptoms you get after you go to Taco Bell. My brother Jay says that just ends up splashing around in the bowl. I said, Jay, what happens, whenever we're driving around on Long Island, we see a Taco Bell, I say, Jay, there's Taco Bell. What happens with that? What happens with that? You know what? I have to get him to get to what he's famous for. And then he says, oh, that's just slashing. That'll be splashing around in the bowl.
Gross visual.
I know.
Splashing around in the bowl.
You ever had a 7-layered burrito? Those are pretty good.
He was out today, and he wouldn't tell me where he was going. I said, what are you, a secret agent now? I go, where are you going? I don't have to tell you every fucking thing I go. You met Jay.
Yeah, what do you think he's doing?
He doesn't know. Airborne pollution over China and Europe has plummeted as industry and traffic slow amid the coronavirus pandemic. Satellite imagery shows in northern Italy levels of nitrogen dioxide, which is produced by car engines, power plants, and other industries have fallen by 40% since the country locked down on March 9th. In Venice, the once beautiful canals have become clear enough to see fish swimming. Wow. All the animals, the wildlife, they love this. No stupid people shooting us and killing us and running us over and the birds. You know how quiet it is when you go outside your residence in the daytime or even at night?
Yeah.
It's like the birds, all the wildlife love this.
I wonder what they're thinking. They must notice it, right? Like, hey, how come I don't see people like I used to? They got to be thinking that.
They probably can't wait to start shitting on people.
I think there's more people outside, like working out, and everywhere I go, there's people jogging and walking dogs.
Did you ever get shit on?
Oh yeah,
by a bird?
I love it when you're with a friend and they get shit on. That's one of the funniest things.
Oh man, is it? I was at a wedding in New York City, and I think one of my sisters got shit on by a bird. Oh, it's great. It's like wow, you know. Oh, it's too funny.
One of my favorite jokes that Tony Hinchcliffe does is one time he was out and he was looking up or something and a bird shit right in his mouth.
Bullseye.
Good birdie.
Oh man.
I wonder if that bird gave his friend a high wing after that.
New York City area funeral homes are now holding virtual services while limiting those paying their respects in person to immediate family. Some cemeteries are prohibiting mourners from leaving their vehicles or bidding farewell until after the grave workers finish burying their dead. That's not too nice. But it's an item of interest nevertheless. We're going through these pretty quick. This is pretty good. It's not too bad. This is out of London. Prince Charles, the beneficiary of the heir of the next king of the British throne, has tested positive for the coronavirus. You know, I saw Price is Right today. And you know, when you watch The Price is Right, Price is Right.
Price is Right.
when you watch The Price is Right,
come on down.
You're looking at the girls who show all the showcases.
Yeah.
So you get comfortable, you get some tissues next to the bed, or next to the chair. It's Price is Right time. You see a lot of things that you don't see because you're home all day. They got guys now showing.
No.
It's like when they started getting guys to be waitresses at the Comedy Store.
What?
Oh my God! I saw it today. It was just like, oh my God! And it wasn't even. It was just a shock. When did they start doing that?
I don't know. Somebody probably complained, like, guys need to do it too. It needs to be fair.
Well, Brian, I don't want you spraining your tail.
Oh my God! I really saw it today. I saw it.
Yeah, imagine if Vanna White, they had to put a guy instead of Vanna White. Like, who wants to see this dopey guy
Vince
walking
White,
around?
and I'm going to turn letters.
And I felt sorry for the host. Who's the host? Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yeah.
Drew
Carrey.
Drew Carey, he's making a boatload of money. It's 5 days a week, coast to coast, big network. I mean, his checks are just phenomenal checks. But at the end of the day, you're a game show host. I don't know. I
think he'd be a good game show host.
I don't know, but I'm not down in it. There's a lot of jobs. Maybe I'm being silly, huh? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
And if you're going to pick one game show, probably Price is Right. It's probably the fun. You could try to be a little fun.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. They were giving an Apple Watch out, so they had the 4 people bidding on the Apple to go to the show. To go on the stage. And one was $575, one was $1,100 or $1,200, and one woman just said $1,
right?
And she won.
Yeah, because they have that thing where if you go over or something.
Yeah, if you go over, yeah. I'm not good at this. I wouldn't be. Are you good at Prices Right? I don't think I'd be that good at it.
No, I don't. They say, well, they have all the items from the supermarket. Where does this one go? I don't give a shit how much it is.
Right.
What do I look like? Mary the shopper with the coupons? Who the hell cares?
I don't think Drew's doing very well right now because of the whole, his ex-fiance, the one that was murdered and stuff. I heard he's not holding up very well.
Yeah, that must have been terribly shocking. Yeah.
There's one of the guys.
Yeah, is that that's disalarming? I mean, there's the one that was today. I saw her. She won. Yeah, she's the one who did the $1. Yeah, I saw that today, and I just turned the channel. I wasn't happy with that. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. So Prince Charles, the heir to the British throne, has tested positive for the coronavirus. A spokesman for the royal family said Charles, 71, has been displaying mild symptoms but otherwise remains in good health and has been working from home throughout the last few days. As usual, his 72-year-old wife, Camelia, whatever that is,
Camelia,
the Duchess of Cornwall, does not have the virus. Well, they sleep in separate beds. How can you get the virus if you're in another bedroom, another bed? Jeez.
He just ended the isolation period today.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, he's back out. Queen Elizabeth didn't become conveyed. The spokesman said it is impossible to determine the source of the transmission because of his high number of engagements. This one is from Honduras. Now, why did I do this one? This is about a prison. This is an item of interest. The U.S. military this week evacuated a women's football team that was stranded in Honduras after the coronavirus led the America's Women's Bowl in Tlaquepaque to be canceled. With Honduras now under martial law, the Air Force flew out all 55 players and staff, as well as nearly all the combat boots that the girls were wearing. But elsewhere around... It's an inside joke that only I got. Sorry.
That the soccer players wear combat boots?
Well, a lot of soccer players, you know...
Yeah. I gotcha. Sensible shoes. I gotcha. Lumberjack shirts. Gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha.
You said it, not me.
I'm just saying words. Who knows what they mean? Cutting their own hair.
The U.S. embassies are not offering any help. That's a bad one. When you go to the U.S. embassy in a foreign country and they're like... I felt the same way. I got arrested once in the Philippines when I was in the Air Force. And you think the cops from the military base are coming to help you. Yeah. They're on the same team as the Filipino guys that arrested me. I felt betrayed, you know? It's a feeling. It's a crazy feeling. Yeah. IMS in the morning.
Yeah. Darn IMS in the morning. 7 minutes after 8, 8 minutes after 7. Items of interest. 3:54, 6 till 4. 6 minutes till the top of the hour. Give us some items of interest there, Holtzman.
So they're going to get the Dykes. I mean, they're going to get the soccer players out, and everything will be just fine. And backup flights.
Hey, how many players were there again?
55 plus some staff and some shitload of combat boots.
Hey, have you heard this joke? Someone told me this joke yesterday. It wouldn't work for this because it's a weird number. But he goes, you've heard about the Navy? You've heard about the Navy? I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, 1,000 sailors go to sea, and back comes 500 couples. I never heard that joke before.
I don't know where to go with that, Darren.
I don't either. I don't know. I'm just saying, when you talked about these female football players, it reminded me of that story.
This is good news for Woody Allen. We talked about him in episode number 19. That was last week. Woody Allen has got his book published, so censorship is dead. Woody Allen claims his ex-partner, Mia Farrow, has been on a rage quest for revenge ever since he started dating his adopted daughter, Soon Young Previn. In his 400-page memoir, I'd like to read that one. I don't even see about all his movie making. He makes funny movies. I mean, he makes funny movies. And if you ever, I saw a clip of him doing stand-up once. He just has he's just like dead. His jokes are so good. He doesn't have to show any emotion. There's people rolling around on the floor just because the jokes are so strong. It's just unbelievable.
From the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is this fabulous museum of art. And when I was younger, I used to hang out a lot at the museum in search of a meaningful social relationship. So,
see how hard they laugh?
And I saw on the wall once a nude by Rubens, but a real succulent nude. A naked huntress stabbing to death a warthog. And I got very emotionally involved with the painting. You know. Two guards had to restrain me. Tried to rake some of the oil off the canvas.
Comedy had to be so easy back then, though.
You think it's harder today?
Oh yeah, like back then you could just say the word boobies and people would be like, "Oh, he said that
in public." Ooh. Yeah.
Off the wall, and I call her up, and I came on very strong like an artist. I used a lot of very artistic terms like brush. I said, and easel. I was just adorable. And we agreed on a price, and hung up. And I got all dressed up in my smock and beret, and little Harvey's Bristol cream on the hair. And too much, and I waited there. An hour later, there's a knock on my door, and standing there is this fabulous woman, but really sensational. I let her in quickly, and I locked the door with my police lock immediately. And I said to her, take off your clothes right away, because I don't know much about art, but I know what I like. She took off everything, very professional, and posed. And I began to shake, That's my thing, I shake all the time. I'm not good in those.
I feel like he's working a really good room. You know what I mean? Like this ain't gonna work in some dive bar.
Yeah.
Where they're
doing this at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, where the or you know what I mean? Or where the crowd like they want to laugh, and you're sitting there going, and I put on Bristol cream in my hair.
Bristol cream.
And I like that. And I open the door, and it's too many. Yeah, I don't know. It's different. It was a simpler time. I not to diminish it, but it looks like it was an attentive audience that was into it.
My apartment was robbed around 4 times in 2 years.
So
I didn't know what to do
he's
about
got
it,
his book published, so he's okay now. Another publishing place. Where is it? Is going to publish it, so everybody's happy. But relationships are hard. They gave him a real hard time for marrying his adopted daughter. But you got to take love where it comes. The guy doesn't want to be alone for the rest of his life. He didn't really fit into. He never went to the Oscars to receive any awards. He'd always be playing his clarinet on Tuesday evenings at a special club that he goes to, and I couldn't see him walking down the red carpet with some Hollywood type dame. So you kind of have to feel for him. It's a shame that she was a relative. But
that's the only bad part. Everything else I get, a young Asian chick. Fuck
yeah. You're like, that's right in my wheelhouse.
I'd still go to the wedding. Would you go to the wedding if you got invited, even though it was his stepdaughter that he was marrying?
I'd go there to throw.
Depends if she brings any friends.
Exactly. Yeah.
When you see the yellow bus out front of the reception,
Are you gonna throw rice?
Jeez, rice or one of those books, handing out the books at the dentist's office where you try to find the things.
Highlight magazine.
I love those. Highlight magazine where I grew up, the headquarters was right next to down the street from my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a cool building, and
I love Goofus and Gallant. That was my favorite. Those two brothers, Goofus and Gallant. Gallant would stay home when his wife was out of town and do arts and crafts. Goofus would turn the paper mache into an asshole.
The only time I saw that magazine was at the dental office.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Dental office, they order like all the magazines.
National Geographic.
They want you to relax before they drill your freaking. Back then there was no Novocaine. Everything was done without anesthesia.
Yeah, now it's weird. Like they'll give you the mouthwash. It tastes like blueberry. They have all these weird flavors. Compared to when you were a kid.
Well, some people don't go out. Some people are homebodies anyway. This coronavirus.
Oh, Goofus and Gallant, right there.
It doesn't affect people that don't go out anyway.
Let's give it. Yeah, some people probably actually like it. They're like
people with beautiful big homes. They don't go out. They don't go out. They got everything they need there.
Goofus says, "Give me a pencil." Gallant says, "Please give me a piece of paper."
Looking back at it might not have been the best.
I know, because I think everybody's a little bit of Goofus and a little bit of Gallant.
Convicted rapist Harvey Weinstein was put into medical isolation in prison this week after testing positive for coronavirus. The disgraced Hollywood producer has been transferred to a maximum security prison near Buffalo after being held in New York City's Rikers Island jail, where dozens have tested positive for the virus. Sentenced to 23 years in prison, Weinstein, 68, has heart problems, high blood pressure, diabetes, and all which put him at a high risk of suffering serious effects of coronavirus. Yeah, he's done. He's not going to produce any more movies. Wealthy New York residents are fleeing the coronavirus in droves to the Hamptons, leaving roads and oceanside towns packed with Range Rovers and Lexus SUVs. The elite exodus to Long Island typically starts on Memorial Day, but in recent weeks, coronavirus panic has caused a flood of city folks in towns populated by mostly working-class people in the off-season. I've seen breathtaking acts of selfishness, year-round resident Jason LaGreen told the New York Post, citing a man who filled a shopping cart to the brim with carrots. Another shopper spent $8,000 in one grocery run. We should blow up the bridges, said lifelong Montauk resident James Kabaski. Don't let them in. They are rich people, and they will go exactly where they want to go. And don't get in their way. If I see rich people, I ask them if they need anything. I don't mess with rich people. Do you, Darren?
No. I could see that where people are like, I don't like rich people, but one day wouldn't you kind of like to be rich? I mean,
well, you can solve a lot of problems with money.
Why would you buy all those carrots? though? That was a weird thing, right?
Maybe he has a lot of horses.
You're like a detective. That was good.
I just know the grocery stores by my house sell like these bags
of carrots. That must be what it is.
Yeah.
That must be what it is.
Yeah.
He's probably got horses out there. Yeah. I didn't think of that.
I didn't think
they liked
the first thing I
carrots.
thought of is he wants to see better or something, But yeah, that was dumb.
I used to bring carrots up to Runyon Canyon and feed those dilapidated horses at the top. Are they still there? Those two horses?
I don't know.
I didn't even know about that. There was just horses that lived on the top.
Well, there was a little house there, and there was a couple of horses in a horse. A horse.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Whatever they call where the horses are.
Stable.
Yeah. It was like on the way to Mount Holland Drive. We talked about this already. The Olympics being postponed, and that's going to be a problem. Just postponing it. So there's nothing more I can say about that. All the athletes are upset. They train very hard.
I know. What if you're like?
Well, the Olympics is like Christmas. It should be every 8 years. Every 4 years is too much. It's too quick.
Yeah. No one gives a shit anyway, right?
No, but they're adding a lot of stupid sports.
Yeah,
Twiddly links. What is it? Twiddly
links.
Tiddlywinks is a sport now.
Tiddlywinks.
What is it?
Tiddlywinks.
Tiddlywinks is a sport now. I heard.
How is it?
Yeah.
Tiddlywinks. Oh, there it is right there. Tiddlywinks.
That's not a sport, really?
Did they add that?
I don't know if it's a sport.
Redban's not going for it. Okay.
Fake news.
He called me on my bullshit right there.
He was really paranoid about that dog tail story, but I didn't think you were lying or making it up. I thought
we understand each other now.
Yeah, we're buddies, man.
Amid a surge in unemployment, a few retailers are hiring. Edmess Instacart, the shopping delivery app, said it was looking to add 300,000 temporary workers, while Walmart said it wants to add 150,000. CVS, Dollar General, Pizza Hut, and Domino's Pizza are all seeking to add at least 10,000 new employees. Wow. Yeah. Boeing stands to get as much as $17 billion in loans through the provision in the stimulus bill for businesses critical to maintaining national security. The company's CEO said he will not accept federal money if it means the U.S. will take an ownership stake. Wow. It's kind of cavalier of him, isn't it? Ammunition sales on ammo.com rose by as much as 730%. Again, I don't get these percentage. How do you even figure out what 730% is? I need that Michael Lear back here. He knows. He set me straight.
Oh, yeah, he did.
But
he carried the 2 and the decimal, and he knew it.
He says it's called math, you moron.
Yeah.
730%. I don't know how you even figure out, percent is just a gray area to me. There could be an easier way to say something than just say percent. Percent is 1 to 100.
Just say like
after 100, it becomes a mystery. It becomes a mystery to me.
Say like a shitload or something. What do regular people do that don't know math?
730% in Colorado and 392% in Ohio.
Ohio.
A lot of guns growing up in Ohio.
No.
And between February 23 and March 15th, shares in American Outdoor Brands, a gun manufacturer, are up 41% since March 9th. This is a nice one. This is a pretty cool one right here. This is for our rich friends. A Swiss hotel, Le Bourgeon, is launching a coronavirus service that includes a coronavirus testing for $500, twice daily nurse check-in for about $1,800, and round-the-clock nursing care for $4,800, as well as an automated check-ins and food delivery. Room rates from $800 to $2,000 a night. Wow.
That's a good service if you can afford it.
L-E, capital L, small e, large B-I-J-O-U. Maybe we'll see what that...
Les Bijoux.
The most expensive hotel I stayed in was at the Taj Mahal when I went to India. It was my birthday.
Wow.
I felt like I was adopted. I was all alone. Sick of, hey, can you take my picture? I'm not traveling with anybody. Can you take my picture? So sad. It was so sad.
What was the Taj Mahal like? Was it?
Oh, unbelievable! It's like the Niagara Falls. You been to Niagara Falls, Redban?
Yes.
You can just look at it for hours. Yeah. It's amazing. The same thing with the Taj Mahal, and it looks brand new. Built in the 1600s. It looks brand new. Wow. Brand new. You just look at it.
Can we pull up Taj Mahal after this? Because I don't even know what it looks like. I have no idea what it looks like. You stayed at the Taj Mahal? Or,
no, this was a real exclusive place that I would not normally stay at. But
yeah, even with this virus, this is like the rooms for this hotel are like $1,200, $1,300.
Wow.
Yeah, the internet is hard now. Sometimes it comes up. So many different things come up when you're looking for something. Unless you know the exact address, you get so many different...
Well, everything's like coronavirus-y now. Like, you pull up any hotel, it's more like a statement from the hotel about coronavirus.
Right. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Wow, this looks nice.
COVID-19.
Oh, man, look at that. I don't know. I don't trust those jacuzzis in the room.
Yeah.
They got to clean those things pretty good.
Pretty gross.
You know?
Yeah.
You really want to get in there after...
No.
There's been some questionable
I usually use that
activities inside.
That's usually
that
where
thing?
I throw my dirty towels in the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't take it? You don't use it, huh?
No. I just throw it in the empty jacuzzi.
You're pretty health conscious, are you?
Pretty health. Well, not crazy. Like I don't wear shower shoes or anything. Like I'll go there barefoot in the shower.
Last time we had one, I was with Janice in Vegas, and it was so hot. And of course, you know, I'm one of those guys that if there's once in a while I'll just put like the whole thing of shampoo in it to make it like the soap and shit.
Oh yeah.
And we're fucking, and it was so hot. I got about to pass out, and she had to like get out of there. And I'm like, I'm about to faint. And I'm like, I was just this big soap. And I passed out in the bed. Remember that, Jan?
Probably so slippery, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in California that drowned in their jacuzzis or their hot tubs. That maybe they're on wine or something.
Oh yeah, they fall asleep. It's so relaxing.
Something happens to them and they drown. Yeah. And they find them in the damn.
You don't play with that, man. Even with you ever been so tired you're looking at your phone and then it just drops and falls on you? It's like that's why I realize you can't. You think you're awake, but then you'll fall asleep.
That's why they don't like people smoking in bed.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, these phones are the grossest things ever. Like how much crap is on this phone, like viruses and
it's like
dirt.
money.
Yeah.
It's as dirty as money.
Yeah, and Janice got this thing that you put this. It's like a box. You put your phone in, and it has these lights, these like blue lights on it, and it cleans the phone in like 10 minutes, and it kills all the bacteria and viruses and shit on it.
Now,
phone scrubber.
Would I take it? Would I take my phone out of the case to do it, or put the whole thing?
Put the whole thing in there. Yeah.
To open it up, or do you think I should? Just so people would know. Would I just put the whole thing in? Do you open it up?
No, you just put it right in there. I forget. I'll show you what it looks like.
Wait, Amazon?
Yep, Amazon.
I've been using those.
It's called phone soap.
Oh, that's good. I've been using those Clorox wipes when I remember to do it, but I don't do it very often.
I bet their sales are going through the ceiling.
Oh yeah, see there it's.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
It's like this little box, and you put it in. It was on Shark Tank.
Soapbox. So they gave him the money on the show?
Yeah. You put it in and it cleans it.
Wow.
Is that the guy who?
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty cool. What is it like? Ultraviolet or
Yeah,
some
it's
kind
those
of
blue lights, and those UV blue lights which makes it kills viruses and bacteria. It's like we should just have those in our house as like lights. The whole place could be like black lights everywhere we go. It could be like a rave.
I think there's going to be some good coming out of this. Like, it used to be my pet peeve when I go to a place and there wouldn't be any soap, and you're like, "What? There's no soap in here." It's like the employees didn't care. And then there was this one comedy club I'd go to, and I'd get the right when the night would start, I'd be like, "Hey, there's no paper towels, there's no soap in there," and then they would kind of joke with me like, "You always worry about that." I'm like, "No, I mean, you want to make a good impression on the customers, and I think from now on, people are going to make sure everything is stocked and supplied.
Yeah, you're going out of your way to help them out because you want to give them a good name, and they say that you can always tell a restaurant by the cleanliness of their restroom.
Absolutely,
if the restroom is
like places started, they realized like, hey, wait a second, why are people putting paper towels on the floor? And they go, oh, let's move the garbage can over there. That way, when they open the door, they'll put the garbage. They get the message. They got the message.
Right. The last one over here, almost the last one. The average of 32.2 million people turned into the network evening newscast last week. A 42% increase. There's the percentage again from a year ago. ABC averaged 12 million viewers for its 6:30 p.m. broadcast. This is the broadcast that goes coast to coast. They call that a network news, not your local news. Here's an airline story. Major airlines are planning for the possibilities of a halt to domestic commercial flights, said so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, while the Trump administration had resisted such travel restrictions. Some airlines are not ruling out a voluntary shutdown because of steep decline in demand. One flight from New York City to Los Angeles this week had only 6 passengers on board.
Wow.
So you could fart and nobody would hear you. And TSA said it was screening about 2 million fewer passengers per day at its checkpoints. Flight cutbacks are already costing Delta roughly $50 million each day. I don't know. I don't feel too bad for the airlines, but we got to get where you got to go.
Yeah.
But, if they're going to take all these loans and all these bailouts, they should make them sign something that says they got to pull a few rows of seats.
Yes, please.
Yes.
And stop charging people for baggage.
I know.
Or maybe just stop charging people over 65. Senior citizens shouldn't have to pay to check bags. Your parents, your grandparents. You know what I mean?
Adopted people shouldn't be charged for bags.
It should be put in the bag.
You'll be in the bag.
We all have our own agenda.
Well, the first bag should be free. I like how I think
Southwest has 2 bags for free. I love it.
Yeah,
it's the
Southwest's
best.
great.
When I just flew actually to it was not Iowa, but we flew to Iowa, not Ohio, and it was an extra $140, $70 each way.
Right. This one is about some of the anxiety, something you can do for you. A lot of people are, there's serious anxiety out there. Not everybody's, just people are not used to this. Their daily lives are so busy and so they're just not, they just can't take it. So you're not alone. If the coronavirus crisis is causing you anxiety, said so-and-so and so-and-so. To manage it, begin by giving it its name and reminding yourself what anxiety is. A very common emotional response to anticipated danger. Doing just this puts you back in control. You can then list the specific threats causing you worry and think about them rationally. Moving from paralysis to minor action helps, such as making a grocery run while observing due precautions. To diminish the power of uncertainty, try to keep yourself grounded in the present. One reliable trick is to count your breaths. Being mindful about your breathing helps switch off the neutral circuitry that anxiety ramps up, leading to an overall feeling of calm. This is an example of an article that could have been written better. There's an easier way to say what they said, Yeah. Live in the moment, be calm, and it'll pass, and don't get so excited.
Yeah.
Not this jumbo mumbo. Idiots. This is one about for you. This is for you, Redban. This is about a computer.
Okay.
The world's fastest supercomputer has joined the hunt for the effective treatment for the coronavirus, said so-and-so and so-and-so.
Nice.
From the power of 200 petaflops,
Pita flaps.
P-E-T-A. These are people that
Got it.
want to keep dogs out of computers.
Yeah.
Pita flops.
Petaflops.
Whoa.
You got it?
Yeah, pita flop.
Now, what is a petaflop?
It's a unit of computing speed equal to 1,000 million floating point operations per second. So it's like how
So fast.
it is.
Oh, okay. It's a speed a speed register for the particular machine.
Yeah.
Is the petaflops, or the computing speed. Okay, there. I should have just read on a little bit. Okay, 200 quadrillion, 200 quadrillion calculations per second. Now, how the heck can they do that, Redban? Oh my word!
What's that? It says how many GB is a
200
petaflop?
quadrillion.
How many gigabytes, I guess?
Yeah, that's quadrillion. 200 quadrillion. I never even heard quadrillion till today. I didn't know there was a word quadrillion.
This is like way.
It sounds like something like Austin Powers. Like
I'm telling you,
1 million
this
quadrillion.
is a spaceship Enterprise. Where's Captain Kirk? This is it. I mean, you're living it right now, so embrace it, enjoy it. Start wearing costumes.
Yeah.
All the techies are probably loving this shit. They think they're on the Battlestar Galactica.
Finally, we're in style again.
Jesus.
I play chess against my computer, and you know, of course, like it already knows your moves, like whatever
That's
you do.
artificial
It's like-
intelligence.
I know. It's like, so I can imagine
Probably knows you adopted too. It's probably laughing at
behind the scenes.
you. 200 quadrillion. God, it's a lot. Calculations per second. IBM Summit supercomputer ran simulations of more than 8,000 drug compounds to see if they might effectively stop the coronavirus from infecting host cells. From those, it identified 77 possible candidates and will run simulations of them in an effort to narrow down the list even further before experimental studies are done to prove which chemicals work best. Summit has already been used to identify patterns in cellular systems that precede Alzheimer's, analyze genes that contribute to traits like opioid addiction, and predict extreme weather based on climate simulations. It doesn't tell you where this computer is located. It's probably in a hidden
underneath the Denver airport.
Yeah. Oh, is that right?
Probably.
Yeah, they don't want you to know where it's at because somebody will go in there and try to pull the plug on it. So that's unbelievable. I mean, I don't know if this is an item of interest coming up, but
That was
they're
interesting.
thinking of taking the blood out of people who have survived this coronavirus and using that as an antidote to the coronavirus.
Like the plasma or something. I heard.
Yeah, something's got to go. Yeah, the plasma. The plasma is what makes you, I think, if you have a cut, heal real quick.
Yeah, or burned.
Yeah, plasma is very important.
I used to give plasma, donate plasma twice a week for money in college just so I could buy weed and beer.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was like $45 every time. So I was like, that's a bag of weed.
Yeah, and this 7-year-old's got $600 in his savings account. This 7-year-old shitting in his pants. What is this one about? A few tech executives have been vocal in their opposition to social distancing. Distancing. So somebody CEOs, they say, I don't know, the hell with them. I don't want to read about those people. The remote learning gap. What is this about? Don't tell the kids all the remote schooling. Oh, this is a good one. Don't tell your kids, but all the remote online schoolwork that they do while quarantined won't count.
Oh, I was just gonna say that.
Said
oh,
so and
no.
so and so and so and so and so. It's an easy issue, said a spokesman for the Seattle public school system. If you can't guarantee all your students have online access, nothing's graded. So you're wasting your time. You might as well go in the sandbox and play with your balls. I don't know. not play with them, play with the ball, sporting
Yeah,
balls, not your genitalia. Football, basketball, those kind of balls, softball, baseball, soccer ball,
volleyball, tetherball,
dodgeball. What other kind of balls are there?
golf balls.
So
hairballs.
Here's another one for you,
meatballs.
Redban. A new $999 MacBook Air.
Oh yeah.
The coronavirus has stopped Apple from debuting a new device, said so-and-so and so-and-so. Apple has launched a new version of the MacBook Air, returning to the Air's traditional starting price of $999 for the low-end model. And I want to talk about this when I'm done, because they say Mac is the best laptop you can buy, but the operating system is different from the other ones. It's not like Chrome, right?
You mean Windows?
Yeah, it's a whole different thing from Windows. Is that right?
Yeah. It's a lot easier to use. It's a lot more friendly. Like it's, PC,
Mac is better?
Mac is a lot easier to use. Now, if you're used to Windows, you might have a little bit harder time
So
at first.
how long is the learning curve? Because if you want to spend some money, you might as well get a Mac. But I heard they're difficult.
They're not. I mean, I think if you know the basics of a Windows PC, I think you'll know the basics of a Mac. There's slight differences, but overall, it's a way easier operating system. There's not as much bullshit. You don't have to worry about all these viruses and pop-up windows as much.
It's already installed. The
Everything-
protection
it's
is
just
already in there.
It's a more secure operating
I
system.
went from a Dell to a Mac, and it was like heaven because I didn't even.
So you're on a Mac now?
Yes, that's mainly what I've been on. It's easy, like you
So
said.
if I want to get a Mac, this would be a good opportunity for $999.
Sure is. The MacBook Air is great, and it's small and thin. There's the new one right here that we're looking at.
I wonder if you could still plug in things like the SD card and like
Because most people you see in public, they don't have Macs.
Yeah.
Because they're more expensive and they're different.
Really, I think I see a lot of Macs in public.
You do, but a lot of people doing HP. A lot of they're doing all the other brands.
Well, the other brands are definitely cheaper. You
Yeah,
can
they're
get like a
cheaper.
PC laptop, for like $300 nowadays. But no, I mean, I highly recommend Mac. I think it's the way to
It's
go.
a superior system.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I might have one for you. You can have and just try it out. Because I have fucking PCs everywhere. There's one like sitting right here that I
so
found.
Windows, of course, is Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
And Mac is not using the Microsoft.
It's Apple. Yeah, they
it's
have their
using
own
their Apple
yeah.
operating system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's unusual. That was real ballsy of them to just say no to Windows.
Yeah, well, they're like Pepsi and Coke,
Right, okay.
And I tell you something else. I'm so used to Mac now. I grew up on PCs, built my own PCs the whole life, and then been in the Mac world for at least 10 years. And I got a PC a couple years ago, recently, and it's so hard for me now. Like I can't even figure out how to fucking do it. It seems so clunky compared to Apple. Like where Apple's like settings, there's the settings. Like this is I have all these different windows.
So you
and
should
it's
recommend get into Mac
100%.
before
I think
it's
it's
too
so
late.
easy. Do it because it's
100%.
I think I will do that the next time because
And
I've still got one. I still got one.
Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah, this is an iPhone.
Oh yeah, if you have the iPhone, it's pretty much like it having an
Oh
iPhone.
yeah, you're already gonna. And you know what's great about this? Let's say you have something on your phone, you can just hit this, click this little button, AirDrop, and it's gonna go right to your computer.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
So many nice things.
You don't have to any cable. It's gonna be
So how long do you? Let's see if it says how long this is going to be a great price.
Oh no, it's always going to be this price.
That's great.
What about MacBook Pros? Do they still make those? Because that's what I have. I like that.
Yeah, I think I have an old MacBook Pro. You could just have Brian fuck around with.
You're going to clean it?
Huh? Yeah, it's already cleaned.
When I say clean it, when you give somebody another device, you want to take all your stuff off it. That's what it means by cleaning it, right, Redban?
Yeah. See this computer right here, though, right next to the left of you, like on the floor?
Yeah.
I found that next to the dumpster a couple nights ago, and that's like
Is this the server?
Yeah,
Is this
that's
what you call a server?
that's like it used to be like a $10,000 computer.
That metal thing right
yeah.
there?
Wow. And I haven't plugged it in yet. I wonder if it's somebody cleaned it or if there's a bunch of naked photos of somebody's wife on there.
Nuclear secrets or something.
Yeah, maybe.
From the jet JPL.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, JPL. They're right around here. I think.
So that's good. That's good to know. I'm definitely going to get a Mac next time.
I'm laughing because he offers you a Mac and he's like, "I found this one. You can have this one." Turns out it's a stolen one or something.
No, I have a bunch of laptops, MacBook Pros that you can have.
Air's traditional starting price of $999 for the lower end model. The very college student friendly price includes 256 gigabytes of storage. That's quite a bit, right? That's all you need.
It's not bad.
Space and up from 128 gigabytes and 8 gigabytes of RAM. What exactly is RAM?
RAM is the help programs. Like if you use a lot of programs or a lot of applications, you need more RAM to make everything run faster. It helps out with using a lot of applications.
So that would be something. RAM means storage.
You want as much RAM as you can afford, and but I'm more of a hard drive guy. As much hard drive you can afford. The storage. Storage.
Hard drive this is not a hard drive. This is a
what they call a tower. That's a whole computer. That's like a laptop, but it's a computer where you can upgrade it down the line, add more things to it.
And what's the hard drive?
Hard drive's where you save everything. So like how much storage you have on your phone.
Is that up in the cloud?
Sometimes you could have it in the cloud, but like your phone right there probably has like
I have to pay 99 cents a month to store things in the cloud in case something happens to this.
Right.
I can go over and get it back.
Yeah, it has the same stuff for that too.
Do you have you must have a bunch of little hard drives, right? Where you're pulling stuff off.
I buy a new hard drive every month.
Yeah, because I mean, just with me, my little,
How much a hard drive? So they're a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, the ones I buy, I have to buy because I record so many podcasts and videos, and I have to save them. So I think I buy 6 terabyte drives, I think it is, and they're about $150, $200 a month every couple months.
You must be very good at organizing too, right?
No, I'm the worst.
Really? You're not like Kill Tony episode 17.
I have a box that I just throw all the hard drives.
Oh wow! Oh my gosh! Yeah. Sometimes I'm able to name the file. Sometimes it just goes over, and I'm like, I'll do it later. And it's not good.
So 8 gigabytes of RAM. There's also a new magnetic keyboard. This is interesting. There's also a new magic keyboard.
Yeah.
A big improvement on the long-suffering butterfly keyboard. That's the one that's shaped like...
No, it's just it's how see the keys on the screen. It's how the keys, when you push them down. Butterfly means it doesn't have as much travel as a typical keyboard to keep it thinner so that the laptop's thinner.
I see. So, long-suffering butterfly keyboard found in most Macs in recent years. It's a major selling point, and it's about time that Apple made the switch. So, what are they talking about? They made the switch to the keyboard?
The keyboard. A lot of people have hated the Apple keyboard recently. Their improvements on the keyboard, a lot of people don't like. It doesn't have as much travel. Like when you type on it, it just doesn't. It feels shitty.
Right. It's not as...
Right. It's not like you're pushing down a keyboard.
Yeah, you want to have that
travel.
How's the sound, too? Do you hear the sound?
Yeah, but it's not as bad as it used to be, like the old keyboard. Right.
And then, all in all, more storage, better keyboard, new central power unit, CPU, better graphics are all welcome upgrades. So when is Apple going to come out with a TV?
Well, I mean, they have monitors and they have Apple TV, which is kind of like those box, like a cable box type thing. But I don't think they're going to get into TVs. TVs are pretty much on the way out anyway.
All right, last two TVs are on the way out?
I think so. I think it's going to become more like monitors or projection or,
Even when you mentioned that guy stole 2 TVs, I'm like, that's kind of a weird crime. Even that guy returned them, right? Remember? He returned those TVs when he sobered up. What was I thinking?
The last 2 items, we lost quite a gentleman, 82 years old. 1938, Kenny Rogers passed away.
I love Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers brought country music to the suburbs. In the 1970s and 80s, the husky voice singer with the trim silver beard was a country music powerhouse, notching 21 number 1 country hits. 21! That's a lot of hits. Rogers delivered his ballery with a congenial pop smoothness rather than a honky-tonk edge. He left the redneck out. And many of his biggest hits, the Lionel Richie, Penn Lady, duet, Islands in the Stream, crossed over to the pop charts, but the lyrics to his story-sung smash is often made for anything but easy listening. In Ruby, Don't You Take Love to Town, a wheelchair-bound Vietnam vet watches his wife head off to meet other men. In the Coward of the Country, a quiet man takes vengeance on the gang that raped his beloved. Wow.
You could have heard a pin drop, but Tommy stopped and locked the door. Remember that part?
And then, no, I don't.
Oh, it was great. Like in the song,
Yeah.
He these guys have been picking on him. They called, "Hey, look, old Yeller's running," and he starts to walk out the door of the bar after they just raped his girlfriend. And he stopped, and they go, "You could have heard a pin drop." He locked the door, turned around, and like kicked all their asses. Coward of
The Gambler was this big hit, signature mega hit about an encounter with a card
That was my shit.
shop. And Rogers, who was the songwriter, credited his success to his ear for a hit. Country music is about pain, he said. I have a knack of picking songs that touch people. 82 years old. That's kind of young, 82.
That was my first record growing up. Kenny Rogers' Greatest Hits, that Black album.
Oh yeah.
My dad gave me that, like his old records when I first got a record player as a kid.
That's
that
so
was the
cool.
first record he gave me. It was that and Jim Croce.
It was something. It was something. It was cool putting that needle on the album, wasn't it?
Yeah. Little noises.
All right, here's the last piece here, the little bit of wisdom here, and a little bit of, this is the poet section to see if we can figure out some of these. Everybody knows that pestilence have a way of recurring in the world, yet somehow we find it hard to believe in ones that crash down on our heads from a blue sky. You understand that one?
No.
I don't either.
Pestilence? I don't know.
That's the word, right?
I think so.
Read the first one, just so
right.
maybe somebody at home wants us to read it again. Maybe they got it. Somebody could, just because we don't get it doesn't mean somebody else doesn't get it.
He's got his tiger glasses on.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Tiger King.
Tiger King
You
is
saw
so
it?
good.
You saw the whole thing?
Roar.
Did you see any of it?
Yeah, I love it. I watched it all in one sitting, all of it.
It's the rage.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that pestilences have a way of reoccurring in the world, yet somehow we find it hard to believe in ones that crash down on our heads from a blue sky.
It's a hard one.
Yeah.
I guess you got to be a poet to get it.
Can I read one?
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you. The arts are not a way to make a living. They are a very human way of making life more bearable.
That's a good one. I think we can all understand that one. Go ahead, read another one. Read them all.
Hollywood is a wonderful. You're right, this is pretty hard. There's no wonderful.
Yeah, especially when there's a lot of people listening to you read.
Yeah, no. I'm in the hot seat here.
Oh, there's Kill Tony. There's Redban with the hair. Where'd he
Check
go?
this.
This is last night.
Jeremiah as Tiger King.
That's awesome. Gosh, these guys are great.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
That's the chick, the dumb bitch.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
I'm gonna have to watch this on.
You gotta watch it. I watched the
Netflix.
first 3 episodes so far. It's so good.
Oh yeah. I
Is
started
that a
watching.
secret location you did that?
We did it at our friend Gino, who owns Speedweed.
Oh, Gino, of course.
Better Box Studios.
I like Gino. I like Gino a lot. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He's very generous. Go ahead.
Hollywood is wonderful. Anyone who doesn't like it is either crazy or sober.
I like that one. Read it again.
Hollywood is wonderful. Anyone who doesn't like it is either crazy or sober.
Or both.
Or both. Wars and elections are both too big and too small to matter in the long run. The daily work, that goes on, and it adds up.
Read it again.
Wars and elections are both too big and too small to matter in the long run. The daily work, that goes on, and it adds up. There may be years of crowded passion in a war. Excuse me.
This is a new one.
Yeah, this is a new one. Hold on. Let me fold the page here. Okay.
You can't fold it. You got to just leave it. You got to leave it open like that.
Oh, there's an art to it. I didn't know that. Sorry, sir. Okay.
I mean, it's right there in front of you. What do you want to fold?
He's got to put it back in the magazine later.
I got to return it to the library. I can't. I got to take the staples out, and then I got to figure out how to get the highlight off there and put it back at the library.
Yeah. Maybe it's a good thing he doesn't have a Mac computer yet. There may be years of crowded passion in a word and half a life in a sentence.
Say it again. I wasn't listening.
I know, it's hard, man.
Go ahead.
There may be years of crowded passion in a word and half a life in a sentence.
Very deep, and sometimes unexplainable. Go to the next one.
True ignorance is not the absence of knowledge, but the refusal to accept it.
That's a good one. I understand that one.
Yeah, that was good.
You know, some people you're just talking to a wall. Yep. You're just talking to a freaking wall. You can explain to them in very frank terms what's the situation, and they will choose to believe what they want to believe no matter what. And nobody knows why that is, but it's just the way it is.
That's just
from President Calvin Coolidge. He says, no, Coolidge, not Coolidge, Coolidge.
It is a great advantage to be...
I say I gotta do a voice, man. I gotta do a voice. I feel more like I'm a president. Here we go.
It is a great advantage to be a president and a major source of safety to the country for him to know he is not a great man.
That is very good. I understand that one.
That was good.
Is that it?
Yeah, everything after that is...
So, Redban, thank you, Darren.
You're welcome. Thank
reading
you.
that. I'm happy that you realized it wasn't as easy as you think.
It's not. It's not as easy. I like being the... Yeah.
Redban, let's pretend that you're like one of those critics for a television show or movie. Give us your rundown on this phenomenon that's running across social media, this Tiger King.
Tiger King.
If you want, I haven't seen it yet, but I heard
seen
it. I heard it's going. People can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, it's a guy that you want to watch the trailer of it. Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, I'd like to watch the trailer.
Here's the trailer of it right here.
It's not every day that a zookeeper went to prison for murder for hire.
There are more captive tigers
Oh
in
my
the U.S.
gosh.
than there are in the wild throughout the world.
You know, people are nuts, man. They're all crazy. I'm sure y'all got a story to tell.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Joe Exotic, and this is Sarge.
He was like a mythical character living out in the middle of bumfuck Oklahoma who owned 1,200 tigers and lions and bears and shit.
Come here, love me. Matt spoken, good looking, love to party and have fun. I don't think we're done blowing shit up today.
I don't think you are.
They have a heart and a soul and a mind. I've learned from them. But Carol Baskin keeps saying, I can't have these tigers.
If he ever had an enemy in his life, it was Carol Baskin.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol at Big Cat Rescue.
Carol is the Mother Teresa of cats.
We will end the private possession of these cats.
This is my way of living, and nobody's gonna tell me any otherwise.
Carol has an army of people working for free.
She's a plain out hypocrite. She literally does everything that I do.
So Joe says, will you go to Florida and what?
Kill that ugly lady.
What a story. And it got way bigger.
Sometimes they say that I'm the prototype for Scarface.
We're supposed to be sexy as we're luring people in.
You may now kiss the grooms.
You're gonna have to kill me to shut me up. This is my first album, I Saw Tiger. There's 28 songs.
Is that the one in jail?
Yeah. He also was a singer.
I heard that the band that really recorded those vocals, they want a record deal now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
probably. So it's about this guy that, like, obviously that owns a bunch of cats, and he's very just one of those characters, like he's gay, he shoots guns.
Dude, it's so weird. I actually met that guy.
You did?
I really did. I was at the Toledo Funny Bone, and you know how you stay at I want to say it's like the Hilton Garden Inn or whatever, the hotel that's right across from the Toledo. And there's like that medium area, and that's where he had all his little cubs set up, his little cages.
Oh, so it was when he was at the mall.
Yeah,
showing
yeah.
Wow.
And I remember because he was so odd. He had like the earrings and the jewelry.
So for the last 30 years, he's been videotaping. Someone's telling me I'm getting some information.
Yes, so he's kind of like a Don Barris when he's filming everything. He has a crew following him around his whole life because he wants to be famous. He had his own show on the internet where kind of like a podcast.
And I guess he had all the licenses and all the permits to have these cats.
Yeah.
On this place.
Yeah, because in some places you're allowed to have like zoos, pretty much. You're allowed to have big cats, and they're trying to get that,
Now, all this videotaping for 30 years, was there a problem for him to get it on Netflix with the equipment he was using back then to translate to Netflix?
They must have been doing a documentary on him, I think.
They were doing a few things. He was not only filming it himself using cameras and stuff like that, he also had somebody filming like a reality show. They were trying to make him a reality show, and then they were making a documentary on top of it. So there was a lot of different places where they pulled all this video from and stuff.
Somebody was saying, is there any problem today with people claiming they signed something and they want this or they want that?
I don't think so.
And I heard they want to make a movie, and a lot of the actors today want to be in the movie.
Oh yeah,
they want to play those.
You have
roles.
to like honestly. I only watched it because so many people told me wouldn't shut up about it. It was like it's like hearing about the coronavirus and going, all right, what's the coronavirus? So I sat down thinking I was just going to watch one episode. I think there's 7 episodes. Each one's like 40 minutes long. I sat through the whole thing all night long. I think I went to bed at like 6 a.m.
You binge watched it. Yeah,
it gets you because it's just everyone you watch is psycho. Like there's not one person in that documentary that's just like, oh, this guy's normal. Like everybody,
and
there's
that's what
so
you
many,
want.
Yeah.
You want it so people cannot shut it off.
Yeah,
that's the trick. So this is the Sopranos of Netflix right now.
I highly recommend it. And there's so many twists and turns that you don't see coming. Also, that it seems like it's fake, but it's not. Like there's news reports. There's
especially from our world, right? Like seeing a lot of like in show business, we see a lot of the wackiness. Like let's say the Comedy Store, or whatever. So it's just like it's like that, but with animals.
Yeah.
And people, well-heeled people will want pets. So he gives pets too, I guess, to people who want to buy them.
Yeah, he used to sell tigers to people like Shaquille O'Neal and stuff like that.
I think the boxer, what's his name? Tyson had a tiger, didn't he?
Had a tiger also, yeah. He was scared of it, I think.
Yeah, because you never know. They're going to... Cats will...
Oh, yeah.
Dog won't surprise you too much, but a cat will surprise you. Even a house cat.
How about that one episode?
He'll claw you. He'll...
Yeah. Remember the female? Yeah.
Especially a female.
Yeah. I didn't think I was going to like it, but fuck, I can't stop thinking about it. I almost want to watch it again just because the characters are so crazy.
And a female lesbian cat is even more unpredictable, perhaps. You don't know what they're going to do. So did you have fun today, Darren?
I did, and I appreciate you inviting me and having me on.
Redban, thanks for having us on.
It's such a... if there's some normalcy, it's that we're doing this, so thank you.
Well, I hope they enjoy it. I have a letter that I'm going to read. This is one of my letters. This one, unfortunately, doesn't have a date.
Do you have an idea of around what time period?
I got to Los Angeles in '89, so I would say maybe in the mid-'90s, perhaps. Anyway, this is a letter that I wrote to the DMV. Case number 91-00-84290. Oh, here's the date right here. God, I'm such an idiot. Date is 10/3/91. So I was close.
Oh, it was the day before Halloween, and it was in 1991. Interesting.
1991 to the DMV. It says, to someone who cares. Hello. I, as an honorable and honest American, am very sad that I have to write this letter today. I proudly served my country in the United States Air Force for 4.5 years and would do it again if called to do so. I love America, make no mistakes, but it is a lack of honesty that forces me to explain my case. 91-00-84290. I'm a Virgo, so I had to write it again. The accident I am being held responsible for in reality was nothing more than a bump to the rear of this person's car, much like what one would feel when you gently bump another car leaving a tight parking space. There was no damage to both cars and no one was injured, and certainly nobody was killed. This person is a good example of what is very wrong in America today. This person is much like the vast corruption in the savings and loan industry, as well as the nation's insurance system.
You're going deep.
Wow.
Jump in the pool. Get all wet. Don't you hate those people that don't want to get their hair wet? Get in. You got to go underwater or else you're not in the pool. That's how I think. You know, you go, I'm going to keep my head above the water. What are you, turtle? In the savings and loan industry, as well as the nation's insurance system. This lack of integrity and dishonesty in people and business is slowly rotting the very fabric that made America the great country it is. This dishonesty is hurting us as a people and as a nation worldwide. It is all too sad to say that the only thing America can do right and run efficiently is the killing of enemy troops in wartime. Hey now, settle down.
Jesus, Brian.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Put down that joint.
Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo.
Yeah. Just pay the $30.
Hey, you're gonna write a letter. You're gonna write a letter. You know, you're gonna write a letter. You're gonna orgasm, or you're gonna pretend to orgasm.
I wonder if they get a lot of that, like budding screenplay writers, writing this kind of these flowery letters. I love it. Keep going.
So, killing of troops in wartime. If America could run the home front like it does the battlefield, we truly would be the best in the world. Big business, in parentheses, insurance, banking, and government, is just out of control. I will take my driving suspension in order.
Oh, man.
I do not want to hear...
Wow.
I guess I was pissed off.
Yeah.
I do not want a hearing. To face a system so out of control would be foolish. I will take the bus to work if I still have a place to work, and I will walk when the bus fails to show up. As I write this letter, I am making plans to give my auto to one of the many needy causes in Los Angeles. I think that was a lie.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I heard a foghorn that went, bullshit.
My insurance company has dropped me since the news of my suspension. I fear the reason for this is because profits are more important to them than service. Last paragraph. I do thank you for your time. You will not have to worry about me driving on your deteriorated and overcrowded freeways and byways again. More and more, I think I will leave the United States soon.
Wow.
Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? Burma? Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? To a rice paddy in the middle of Southeast Asia? Where the system... freeways and more byways again. More and more, I think I will leave the United States soon, for I do not want to live in a country where the system has gone out of control. America is where people have the power, but today the system has the power that was meant for the people. Yours truly, Brian Holtzman. So that was 91. So
what the fuck happened?
Cuckoo. LA's a tough town. It'll take a little. It'll take some.
I just don't understand how you said you just tapped somebody's bumper, but yet your insurance company and you're getting your suspension of a license. Like how?
Well, there's probably some other underlying things going on.
Did they respond to your letter? Did they write back and?
No, they didn't.
Wow, that was a good letter. And how do you get a? You made a copy of it. You sent it, and then you also made a copy.
Yeah, they're in a computer someplace.
Because sometimes I mail a letter, but I don't even know what I wrote.
And so I have a bunch of these letters. Every week, I think I'll read a new letter. Most of them are apology letters.
You don't remember the accident? How it happened?
My license was suspended. I can't recall what it was for. Maybe it was, it could have been, could have been something, that they suspend people's license for.
A lot of N-words.
But you think you might have bumped somebody's car and then they made a big deal out of it?
Well, I don't know. Darren, I don't think they would suspend your license for having a fender bender in a parking lot.
Yeah.
All right? I guess I don't want to divulge what happened, okay?
He was kidnapping a broad, and
I was like the guy in that movie, Jackie Brown. One of my favorites, the favorite scene. One of the, everybody has movies that they have their most favorite scenes. This one is Jackie Brown, where he shoots that girl right in the belly in the parking lot at the mall. He told her to shut up, and he said, shut up, and she kept, shut up, and he said, bam, bam, bam. Another great movie, Jackie Brown. There he is. Oh, man.
Redban's quick.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, we're going to get to the part. They're going to go in the parking lot, and he's just going to let her have it. There it is, right here. Watch
that mustache.
Watch this, yeah. Oh, God, she won't shut up.
That smirk.
That's the daughter of the famous actress.
Who?
I'll think of it.
So this is Brian Holtzman in 1991 going to his car.
Watch this now.
Montgomery Ward, that's cool.
I wonder what mall this is. Probably like Woodland Hills or something.
Yeah. It says 1979.
I used to have one of those cars. Datsun.
This movie's called Jackie Brown?
Yeah. He's telling her to be quiet first time. That's what.
It's okay. Keep your mouth shut.
Don't say one fucking word.
Wow.
Oh, man. Holy cow. Look at that. That's some street justice right there. Holy cow.
I love that movie. It's such a great movie.
Wow.
Really
I've never
is.
seen it.
Such a sleeper. Like I saw that in the theater when and I didn't care. It was like, oh, that was an okay movie. But rewatching it a couple times, that's one of my favorites now.
Oh, wait. Did it come out in 1997?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it...
I like all his movies. That
Quentin Tarantino. Okay, that's what that was going on.
He's a master. He's the only one that can make me laugh at severe violence.
You'd be great in a Quentin Tarantino movie. Have you ever tried out for one? Or
no,
you should, man. You'd be perfect for that.
It makes it sound so easy, Man, I'd like to try out for the movie. I heard you're making a movie over here.
People say I would be
My
great
name's
in it.
Brian Holtzman.
That's how it
I'm
works.
An asshole. You need any assholes in your fucking movie?
If Darren Carter could be in a movie, you could be in a movie.
You could do it, man. You could do it. I know.
Well, I think we had fun today, don't you think?
Yeah,
we did it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Everybody stay cool, like in the movie. Stay cool.
Be cool. Be cool, yeah.
And we'll see you next time. And stay safe and stay healthy and stay happy. And
yeah.
Stay busy. Read books.
Come on over to the Pocket Party Podcast sometime when you get done with
this. Go ahead,
this.
Darren. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
And check out the YouTube channel, Darren Carter channel. And Brian, keep posting those videos on Instagram, man. I love your videos.
Thank you. And thanks again, Redban.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.